Hi, my name is Jim Ham. We are standing on the original site of the Waverly First Church of the Nazarene. We are on the east end of Joe Street along the banks of the Trace Creek. In the late 1940s, this was a sawmill that belonged to Mr. Bob Collier. And we had an evangelist from Clarksville every year that came over and had a revival on this lot right here. I was told that his name was Reverend Hudnell, but I do not remember anything about him. Like I say, I was like only 6. My parents, we weren't going to church at that time, but my parents, we started coming to this revival every year in the 46, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that area. This was the original Church of the Nazarene right here on this lot, where there was a sawmill and just a bunch of sawdust. So after we left here, we was organized and went down on Commerce Street to the Potter Shoe Shop building. We are now on Commerce Street where we had our first permanent church. It was located in Allen Potter Shoe Shop building. At that time, Slayton Lumber Company was across the creek, and there was a bait shop. Rockford Bateman was here on this creek bank, and then this was Tate Lumber Company right here with an alleyway going back up to the railroad to the railroad street. The Potter Shoe Shop building was just to the west, and he had a shoe shop in one end of it and a great big storeroom in the other, which we rented from Mr. Potter. And that was our first permanent church building here in Waverly. In 1951, we acquired this property and moved to this location. And you can see we built the basement here. You can see the old original entrance door right here. And the upright brick was a top. It was a flat roof, and this was the original entrance. And it extended down to the gutter this way. And that was the end of the building, of the basement. Okay, we're inside of the old original basement part of the church. Here is the old original entrance door that I showed you on the outside. It came into the very back of the church. This was the back wall. And this was all one great big area. There was no partitions in here. This was a sanctuary. It was filled with slat pews. I don't remember how many we had, but it was just, all these walls were gone. There was no partitions. We added these walls when we built the upstairs.
First time in a long time, feels like coming home. Oh, it feels like coming home for the first time in a long time. Feels like coming home.
In 1957, we were putting the top on our church where it is presently located, and during that time, we had to worship wherever we could find a place. So we used the Primitive Baptists. They were good enough to let us use their church at that time. Three Sundays out of the 4, but then other time we would go to the elementary school and worship there while we were building the top on our church. This was the back wall of the church of the basement at that time. And right on the outside of this door was a lean-to restroom. Boys on this side, girls on this side. When we built the top on the church, this was the back wall right here where you see the partition right here.
For the first time in a long time, feels like coming home. Oh, it feels like coming home for the first time in a long time. Feels like coming home. Yes, it does, yeah. It feels like coming home for the first time in a long time. Feels like coming home. It feels like coming home for the first time in a long time.
And then in 1981, my mother got her settlement from the railroad after my father and brother were killed, and she added all of this addition herself. She paid for everything from here back, the basement and the top. And we added the 2 new restrooms, and everything was, from here forward, was paid for by my mother. She just added it to the church. So this was all new since 1981. This is the old original church here from 1957. My parents were original charter members, 1950, 51. And my mother was the last living charter member that was alive. She died in 2013. And I am the last living charter kid. Franklin Brawley was the last one. He passed away a few years back, and I'm the only charter kid left. So that's kind of the history of the church. I'm the only one left.
I can hear you calling. Come back home. I can hear you calling. Come back home. I 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 hear you calling, Father. Come back home. I hear you calling. Come back home. I hear you calling. Come back. I hear you calling, even now. Come back home. I hear you calling, oh Father. Come back. hear you call.